G'day guys, and welcome to the episode of Bushcraft and Camping Adventures. It's a bit of a different episode tonight. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through editing the video that you're about to watch now. Today we had a little bit of an incident where I got caught out to my wife's auntie's house because she said she had a flying fox caught in the netting of her fig tree. And when I went out there and what I saw, it wasn't a really good situation. There was a very seriously injured animal, and I had to try and help out. And what unfolded through the day is what you're about to see. I like to think this is one of the most important videos that I will do, because if what I'm about to say forces just one person to go into their yards and do what I'm about to suggest, then that's potentially one native animal that doesn't have to suffer. If you're an animal lover, you need to watch it, but it's going to be hard to watch. If you've got a bit of a weaker stomach, the injuries, they're quite serious. So the message that I want to give to you before you watch the video is garden nets. They're decimating native populations around the world, particularly in my country, from possums to snakes to birds to bats and anything in between. These nettings, they're death traps, and we place them on our fruit trees to protect our fruit. But what we're not thinking about is the animals that we're actually killing. And after you watch this video, watch the whole thing, watch it all the way through to the end, because you really need to see the flow of this story. Because believe me to say, while I'm editing this, I'm getting a little bit upset watching it, because this poor animal didn't deserve this fate. And you need to take down your nets. It's just as simple as that. Take down the netting from your fruit trees. If you can stick your finger through the gaps in the net, it's dangerous, and one day it's going to cause an animal to suffer. You can get wildlife friendly netting. I'll put some links. Check out the description beneath the video, and really strongly think about changing your setup. So please watch the video, share the video. This is an important video. Right, this is not one for the likes and the views and the subscriptions. This is one for spreading awareness to hopefully save some animals' lives. We're all aware of nettings in the ocean and how terrible and harmful they can be. It's the same thing, but it's in our backyards, and we have power over this. We're in control of this. This is something that you can actually make a difference over. And I'm telling you, if even one of you go and do this, then this video is so worth it. So thanks guys. Let's have a watch. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft and Camping Adventures. A bit of a different one today. I'm recording to my auntie's backyard because we've got a bit of a wildlife situation. We have flying foxes in this country, and they love the old figs and the old mangoes and everything else that we grow in our backyards, and unfortunately one of them is getting caught in a net. So he's right there. I'm not quite sure what we're meant to do with him. Actually, I am sure. What you should do in this situation, let's call your local wildlife rescue service. In Australia it's called wires. So I've called wires, and a volunteer is going to be coming out shortly, but poor dude's not in a good way. His wings all bundled up. So hopefully we can resolve this and have a happy bat. So the other problem we're facing today is it's about another 35-40 degree day. So this poor guy's going to dehydrate. So just wet him down. Keep the mist going on him. He'll be able to lick the water off his body, and he'll be alright. You can see him moving around now, licking up the water off the leaves. He knows what he's doing. So the lady from Wise has called me. And she's on her way, so what else to do while you're waiting? And to sit and hang out with the bat. Have a nice walk. I'm going to spray the hose on it every chance it needs it. And just chill out. And just wait. He's pretty free, despite how it looks. It's only his arm at this stage that's actually entangled. I'm assuming you get a lot of this?
Yeah, unwildlife fruit tree netting is responsible for so many grizzly deaths.
Yeah, it's really depressing having to see this.
It's horrible. And they're an endangered species.
Oh no.
And they
He's definitely injured too. How do you look at that, huh?
Oh dear, you've got multiple fractures, my darling. Oh. You're not going to make it.
Oh, that sucks.
But you can see that that's a clean break all the way through. But also, unwildlife friendly fruit tree netting is just a death trap, and it's like a crucifixion, because you can see how this nylon filament has actually cut through the membrane.
Yeah.
And this is his thumb here, so they have a hand within their wing, elongated fingers within their wing, which is, they're called sort of megachiroptera, hand wing. But you can see this is his thumb down here, and his wrist is completely swollen, and all this membrane has been damaged by the filament cutting through. Incredibly painful.
Yeah.
And it's just a cruel way to. The netting is just hideous, but you can see his bones have been snapped. He's not. See, this is bone here sticking out.
Oh, I didn't know. I saw that before. I didn't know if it was twig or bone. I saw that before. That's decimated.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
So, I mean, we're really call on everyone to get rid of this
100%
netting, because you can get wildlife friendly netting from places like Green Harvest, which means your fruit's protected, the animals are protected, and humans are protected too. So
they shouldn't sell stuff like this.
They shouldn't. It should be banned.
So freaking cute. He's gorgeous.
He is gorgeous. And we get terrible burns from netting.
Burns?
Yeah, it burns the membrane because of the rubbing and the cutting.
Are you serious?
On these animals, so that their wings just, they might look okay for a day or two, and then it just all comes out.
Oh, so it's not game over once the net comes off?
No.
So even for him?
Even for him.
Oh, you poor wife.
But his bones are all completely chewed up there.
You see in there the bones, they're shredded, and you can't even tell the difference between the net and the actual flesh of the wings there. So unfortunately for this guy, it's not a good picture.
I'm just trying to get it off to make him as comfortable as possible, but this is really hard. You can see that all those finger bones have been crushed, and the wing membrane is decimated.
Yeah, it's destroyed. It's brutal.
It's brutal. And that, unfortunately, we're getting up to 20-30 calls a day for animals caught in netting. So if anyone knows of anyone with this sort of net on their trees, anything you can put your finger through is bad. And it's not just bats, it's possums, snakes, birds, and we're just killing our wildlife off systematically for the sake of a few figs.
So what's the alternative for netting?
You can get wildlife-friendly fruit tree netting. It's very small gauge, almost the gauge of shade cloth. Right. You can get it from environmental friendly places like Green Harvest.
I'll put the links in the description.
It also has the advantage that it keeps fruit flies out, and it's a win-win. It's a little bit more expensive to begin with, but it lasts for years and years and years. and you won't be responsible for the death of native species. I'm going to have to leave that till I get to the vets, I think. I can't. Could you pass me the glucose? I'm just putting a little bit of glucose on his gums.
And that just picks him up a bit?
Yeah, with a flying fox, they're very fast metabolizers, and one of the reasons they get hot is they don't have sweat glands,
right,
like dogs, so that they would usually have evaporative cooling, so by spraying them you were helping him to cool. But I'll take him to the vet now and see what we can do. These guys are a keystone species, which means they perform an ecological function that no other animal or creature does, and they are the main and only significant pollinators of the hardwood forests and the eucalypts.
And their numbers have decreased so much.
Their numbers have decreased exponentially
because of this.
And we, as I said, we're getting up to 20-30 calls a day for animals caught in fruit tree netting. It's just unnecessary, and
it's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's horrible.
It's heartbreaking, and as you can see, he's being so stoic and so brave.
Oh, he's a legend. Yeah.
Astonishingly bad injuries. You missed him?
Poor guy.
I'm sorry. We're going to get you some relief, pain relief and things.
So how do we make donations? Because I feel like I want to contribute to something even just for you coming out.
You can make a donation to Sydney Metropolitan Wildlife Services, which is the charity I'm registered with, and we rescue all native animals. There you go, Bubba. And we try to educate as well as rescue.
Well, that's the reason. I mean, when this happened, I was like, I'll just start filming. But now I'm definitely going to put this up because a bit of education goes a long way, I think. All right, buddy. I'm sorry, man. Sorry to do this to you, huh? So that doesn't make you want to get rid of all the netting in your backyard. I don't know what will. I hope this actually taught you guys some things. So use the wildlife-friendly netting. Research it in your local area. Every area is going to have it. And for Christ's sake, take that netting down. Get rid of it. It's no good. Look at this poor guy suffering. It's horrible. So I hope this educated you guys and taught you something, because I didn't know all about that. So you just got to cross your fingers that it doesn't happen again, but it will 20 or 30 times a day. Quite depressing. Get rid of them, guys. Be it in the oceans or on the trees. These things are bad news always. Get rid of them. So there you go. Now, if you made it this far, I can give you the bad news that unfortunately what I'm calling Michael J. Fox, he unfortunately had to be euthanized. His wing was just too damaged. They couldn't repair it. The bones were too broken. He had no chance at quality of life. These guys need their hands. And so he had to get euthanized. So it's a very sad ending to the story. And get rid of them nets. Get rid of the nets. Until next time. See you guys later.